Hey guys, so this weekend we've got East versus West 13, really massive card, a lot of stacked matches. Link is going to be in the description below. But also we've got the day before the East versus West qualifier finals, where a bunch of different nations around the globe have done East versus West initial qualifiers for their region. For example, in Australia we had the Oceanic East versus West qualifiers. And now the athletes from the top two athletes from all those finals will then come together in Turkey the day before the official East vs West, and will then compete to find out who's the absolute cream of the crop, who will then get invited to the actual big East vs West card. So we'll get to see a lot of new faces, which is going to be cool. I believe all the right hand winners will get the invite, and unfortunately only some of the left-handers. They leave it up to their own discretion because unfortunately as of yet left isn't as big a draw as the right-handers. Hopefully change soon because I'm a left-hander. But anyway, I just thought I'd do a bit of an introduction for the Oceanic pullers, or at least probably more so from Australia. I'll do my best to introduce some of the Kiwis that are going as well. So you can see here in this photo on the left, we've got our under 70 kilo champion, Jamie Barrett. So he's actually just come back from a car accident. I forget exactly how long ago, but it was like probably about a year ago. It's not that long ago. And he looks like he's getting really back into form. We'll see some of his videos. In the middle there, at the back, we've got Leo Marcus. I've known Leo for probably 2 years now, and he's always very intimidating on the table. I think he's got like the biggest arms in the under 80 kilo category, and more recently he's bulked up to that 85 kilo mark, and he won the left hand very dominantly. I didn't end up facing him in that category at the qualifiers, unfortunately, but I did after pull him, and he was feeling absolutely monstrous. At the front there in the red shirt, we've got Simon Appleby. I'm not sure if they're running a para class for him. I hope so, because it's always tough competing against people that can kind of get close to their arm and all that kind of stuff. But he is such an inspiration in Australia, going up against people probably nearly half his age, and with the disadvantage of him being quite low down in a wheelchair, and he does bloody well at that. I remember getting flash pinned by Simon at, I think it was either 21 or 22 not nationals, New South Wales champs. I tried to, because I thought since he was relatively open, I thought I'd be able to fire into a close angle press, but he just flatlined me, like he drove straight through. So definitely very big hand and big arm for his category. Like he's got the upper body of someone who's like 90 kilos plus. Next, in the black shirt, we've got Jacob Tuxworth from the Kraken's Arm Wrestling Club. He is an absolute superstar on a meteoric rise for the last 3 years or so. I think he's only about, I forget, he might have got into the same time as me or just after me. So he's somewhere probably between 3 and 4 years into the sport. So still pretty fresh. And I think he's the most active arm wrestler within all of Australia. He hasn't missed any state champs that I can think of. He goes to just about all of them. He went to nationals. He's doing really well. Recently, he got into the top 10 in Australia on left arm open weight by beating Jack Burmester. Jack Burmester, if you didn't know, he's got massive wins within Australia. At Over the Top, he was beating names like Andy Boskovsky, Lachlan Carpenter. I forget exactly who else, but there's a couple of the names I remember. Some of the really like big names in our heavyweight scene he was beating, and now Jacob beat him recently. So he is on this meteoric rise. So he's absolutely earned his spot on this East vs West card. And then on the very right, we've got Nick Vella. So Nick is super new. I think he's only like maybe 1 year in. Absolutely insane how how new he is, and he's again been on this absolute meteoric rise. I can't believe how quickly he's gotten into the sport and is improving within the sport. I only first knew about him, well, honestly, at this event. Like I don't think I'd seen too much of him before this, and then he did really, really well at the recent Vic Champs. I think he might have either won his category or gotten like close second, maybe to Leo. I know Leo definitely won the I think Leo won the under 95s. But yeah, anyway, Nick is on this meteoric rise as well. I think probably no one has a faster progression curve that I've seen so far in Australia. This guy is just improving every single time I see him pull. So just to give you a bit more background, I'm going to go through some of the videos of them pulling it at their qualification event, East vs West qualifiers from Oceania. So here we got Simon versus Jamie. So Simon tries to get through Jamie, but not quite. But what an impressive showing still. Jamie is our #1 under 75 kilo puller. Now Jamie against someone from my club actually called Moses. I know how strong Moses is, and Jamie absolutely launches sideways, crashes on his pronator for the pin. Very dominant. Now this is this Kiwi guy, Daniel Hahn, I think it is. Now Daniel was the only guy that I saw take Jamie over to the B side. Super impressive, because I know how strong Jamie is in a hook. He actually took Sam Burnett well over to the B side at Nationals with his hit. So for him to be getting taken over the B side, there was a bit of foul restart there. Super impressive by him. I'm not sure if he's at this East vs West event. Again, like I know more of the Australians that are going. I'm not 100% sure who of the Kiwis are going. But yeah, Jamie's having to grind back from over the B side. You see him trying to get more rotation, trying to go for more of a dragging cut style move. He might not be able to go under the table like that with Ingen watching, but pretty happy to get that win for him. Who's up next? So now we've got Nick. This is about the only video I think I had of Nick. So Nick, very close up top with Jamie. It's going to this out the back door pronation style fight. Jamie eventually gets the better of him, but man, was it close. A pretty over enthusiastic celebration there by Nick. Jamie's got his hair all over the place. Now Jack Lawrence, what a stud. I gripped up with, well, I didn't grip, I shook his hand. I was actually the guy that weighed him in for this comp, and as soon as I touched his hand, I was like, wow, this guy's probably the favorite to win the whole thing. So Rhett is a multiple state champion. I believe he went to even French nationals and won over there. And Jack just sinks him in a hook and pulls him down. Absolutely brutal. Super impressive. So this is Jacob Shigelski over the left side. Jacob actually pinned Gary in a super match that he and Gary had maybe like 2-3 weeks before this. So I know Jacob is at a super high level. So Jacob's going for the low hand top roll here. He hits. Jack managed to sink in though on Cup and Super Nation and drives down really hard. Jacob not quite enough. Super impressive there by Jack. Now this is the final, so I need to do a video on this on its own because this is such a cooked match. This is round 3, so there were so many fouls, restarts, all sorts of shenanigans going on. So Gary initially gets the kind of hit over the A side, but Jack looks like he's slowly starting to win the battle of attrition. But that little elbow hop, second foul is a loss, brutal. But Jack might have been on, I think he was on his way to win that, so that's really unfortunate for him. But I believe he is at this comp, as far as I know. And now we see Leo again, so on the left hand. Yeah, so Leo left is absolutely monstrous. In strap, out of strap with Gary. There's just no one that was matching him at this comp. He looked comfortable no matter where it went, whether it was in a hook. Gary tried top roll, he tried hook. There was just no lane for him. Leo, super well-rounded. I know he used to be a little bit more of a high hand top roller, but now it looks like he's really developing his hook. So very well-rounded. Jacob Tuxworth with the blonde hair, posting top roller, very strong, and one of the massive up-and-comers, just improving leaps and bounds every single year I see him pull. Versing Pepe. Pepe's Brazilian junior national champion. He's been to WAF, and I believe junior WAF won a medal. And this is the first time Jacob Tuxworth has ever got a pin on Pepe. I've seen them face so many times before, and super stoked for Jacob to make that breakthrough match and get a pin. Alright, so now some of our women. Alright, so on the right we've got Keziah Harrington. She's pretty young, I think she's like 19 or so. Had been in the sport probably about the same amount of time as I am, because I remember seeing her over the top when she was very new. She nearly beat Vicky all the way back then. So that Vicky at the time was the #1 in Australia on the right arm. She currently still is #1 on the left. But I have a feeling Keziah would give her a pretty good go on the left these days as well. So Keziah, I believe, has just arrived in Turkey. So yeah, she at that weight class. I'm not sure if the weight classes are the same at East vs West, because Keziah was in the open weight here, but you know, I don't think she'd be much more than 70, 75. So she's given up a lot of weight to these bigger girls. All right, and so from the Kiwis on the women's side, this absolute monster called Ashley Huerta. So she actually holds the world record equipped bench press. So equipped means she's got like this tight fitting shirt on that adds a bit of stretch. 317.5 kilos, I believe, is her record. Absolutely phenomenal. And you can see her just absolutely ripping through all of the women, both arms. Dominant champion. So she, in my eyes, is the #1 on both arms in Oceania, no question. Alright guys, so that's a bit of background on all of the Oceanic athletes that I know are going, or that I think are going, like Jack Lawrence, I think, Ashley Huerta, I think. Yeah, hopefully I haven't missed anyone. And I will be doing a full review of Gary and Jack's match, because that was probably the match of the entire tournament, so that'll be coming up soon. Alright guys, never stop learning arm wrestling.
If you like and sub, you'll put 2.5 kilos on your riser lift this week.